Oh, dude, it is surreal to be talking to you right now. It's awesome.
Oh man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, we got Chris Daughtry hanging out here on the Zoom meeting today, and the first things first, I got to point out to you. Okay, we'll talk about this later, but we're going to talk about your tattoos at some point because I'm a big ink addict man. But
Yeah,
you're talking to Rock 108. My name's Ned. Pleasure to meet you, man. But you got the big show coming up, McGrath Amphitheatre, man, on July 23rd.
yeah, man. We're really excited. We're really excited.
Yeah.
It's good to be playing in front of people again. You know.
Oh my God, dude. And an outdoor venue as well. I don't know if you ever played outdoors in here in Cedar Rapids, but it's just outdoors. It's gonna be nice. It's right along the river. It's gonna be a good time, man.
Oh man, we can't wait. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
dude. And so, okay, July 23rd, big show, and just getting back into like the realm of things you just mentioned about just getting back in front of people playing live again. I mean,
Yeah.
for the past 2 years, man, it's it had to be a true like difficulty for performers like you to just not be able to do your thing.
Man, what a shit show. It's I found out real quickly um how much my identity was wrapped up in being on the road and
Yeah.
being in front of people and being told how great I am. Because when that was taken away, I was a shell of a man.
Yeah. You're not able to be yourself. Like this is what you do every day, and you're not allowed to
I'm
do it.
like looking at my kids like, tell me how great I am.
That is all I care about.
God damn it. Like, do y'all know who your dad is?
To relay with you on that, one of my favorite things that Dave Grohl said about when he was in
Yeah.
still when he was doing Foo Fighters, and still it probably is, but he said that he's like, my kids could give a shit about if I'm in the Foo Fighters. I'm over here rocking to 10,000, 20,000 people, and my kids over there is going like, when are we gonna get ice cream later?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say this though. My twins, I think they're getting the bug because we just performed at Disney a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and we'd never performed there before. It turned out pretty cool,
Mhm.
but they wanted to sit side stage and watch the show, and they never moved. They were
Wow.
just watching, and I was like, all right, like I'm still at that. My kids are still at that age where I'm actually cool.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they are 11, so I've only got like a year
Yeah.
before they know the truth.
But
And
that's a
but
scary
right now, I
thing.
got them fooled.
Yeah, like I just had my first daughter about a year and a half ago now, which is
Yeah,
crazy to think. And I'm starting to see that she's starting to do mannerisms like me. Like I walk around the house and I just like kind of sing the songs or just make
yeah,
weird noises or something like that. All of a sudden my daughter comes around the corner, makes the same exact sound. I'm like, okay, I
yeah.
only have a little while for this, so I'm just gonna
Oh
enjoy this
yeah,
while I can.
yeah. Go ahead and just brainwash them now, man. Get it in.
And I'm trying to like
But
expose her to
yeah,
things that are not bluey. It's like
yeah. But they're getting into classic rock now, which is
oh
strange for their age, I think. But at the same time, I think okay, they are picking up stuff via osmosis or whatever from
yeah.
my wife and from me. They're asking who Aerosmith is. They're asking to hear Queen, and it's pretty cool because I can help them in that realm.
Right. Yeah. Like I can bring you this, no problem. See,
Yes,
I'm a big
yes,
classic rock. Like Kiss is like my number one favorite band of all time. And I try to put on a record or because I still love vinyl. Vinyl's still fun to play.
yeah.
And I throw on the record, and she has to see Dad put the record on and put the needle down because, or otherwise, she'll freak out. Unless I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I feel like I'm doing something here. I have an
that's awesome
influence.
though. That's really cool because I don't think my kid. I have a vinyl player right here, but I
Yeah.
don't use it enough. And there is something ceremonial about you know putting in a cassette or putting
Mhm.
on the vinyl. It's yeah. So I think that's cool that the kids are picking it. I think we're at an age where they're kind of circling back to that because
Yeah.
they grew up around electronics where we kind of just found them,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and now they're kind of, I think it's cool to like something not the norm, which is probably why they like us, and like my music. It's becoming classic rock at this point.
Oh, isn't that weird? I mean, I listened to bands from when you were starting to really emerge in the mid 2000s, and bands like Shinedown, Disturbed, whatever, kind of like Fuel. They're considered nowadays like the retro, the classic rock. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
No. That's like, this is still
it's
classic
unacceptable.
rock.
Unacceptable.
When I saw a band this weekend called it was called Fool Party. It was the ultimate 90s dance tribute band. And I'm like, there was a time when the 80s tribute bands were like the hot thing, and now it's the 90s songs and they're playing Britney Spears and Livin' La Vida. Martin. I'm like, oh man, we're officially old now, man.
Deja vu, man. I've already been through this.
Yeah, like I'm doing it again. So big show, of course, again, July 23rd, McGrath Amphitheatre. You got a couple stops in Iowa. Not only do you have our Cedar Rapids stop for our show for the big Rock 108 30th anniversary party, which thank you for celebrating that with us, man.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, dude, 30 years of doing radio. I've been doing it for 13 years. I started in Michigan and now I'm in Iowa, and it's just cool to be part and keep radio moving the way it is, because
absolutely
band like you guys out there, I mean, radio and streaming, and there's so many different avenues to get music, and it's amazing to hear about how many people still jam like the newest stuff on the radio, and they're just like, oh, just turn it on because it's free for one thing.
Well, and it's a lost art. It's there's nothing more exciting. Like, you can put your stream your song whenever, whatever, no big deal. You're the one in control here. But man, when somebody else plays your song and you hear it on the radio, there's nothing better, and it never gets old. And so I thank you for keeping bands like us alive, because man, that to me is still a very it's a very good feeling when you hear that, and you that means other people are listening, whether they want to or not. They're hearing your song, and that's awesome.
And the cool thing about that too is, like, in today's world, we have, again, streaming, downloads, all that stuff. Sometimes it's nice for, like, you're so busy with sliding through Facebook and doing all the stuff that you're in control of. It's like, okay, can someone else just take this part for me for a little while, so I don't have to worry about shifting through a playlist while I'm driving my car?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, like, I have been off of Instagram for over 2 weeks now, and it's been like a life-changing experience that I recommend everyone out there try at least once.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Talking about the scrolling, man. I was wasting so much of my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me just take it off my phone so I don't get, tempted to look at it. And I don't miss it. Dude, I don't miss it.
They call it doom scrolling, because before you know it, you're wasted 30 minutes of your day, and you're like, I could have done so much in that 30 minutes. And I don't remember what video I watched.
I'm no smarter. I learned nothing, and I don't even know who this person is that I'm scrolling through their page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know why I care what they think.
Yeah, like, why? Yeah. They all just want those likes, man, so that we can get the ad revenue for their influencers.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you were emerging, especially in the rock world, which, obviously the elephant in the room, starting off on American Idol and really kind of getting notoriety from there.
Yeah.
It was so cool to connect with another rocker on there, because at that time it was very, solo singers, Kelly Clarkson, Clay Aiken, and all them. And all of a sudden this rocker comes on of you, and you're just like, ooh, identity.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, man. And this record is the record that I've been wanting to make ever since, I picked up a guitar, and it was interesting, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I made a record that I was really proud of, aside from 2 songs that the label kind of pushed onto me.
Of course.
But overall it was a great experience. And then, things happen, different changeover with personnel at the label, and then they have their own idea of who we are, and it got further and further away from being a rock band. But there towards the end, I was like, I don't even recognize us, and I got so caught up in playing ball with the label that I forgot my own voice. And so when we parted ways, and I got rid of all the other voices and heard my own, I knew exactly what kind of record I wanted to put out. And there was some risk to that, because we thought that we had all but, been completely written off by rock radio. Sure. And so there was this hesitation, like, man, is this going to work? Is anyone going to believe it? This is me. This is what I've been wanting to do. But I can understand if the gatekeepers are like, well, we don't play Daughtry here,
Right. Yeah. Like, this is that American Idol band.
Yeah. And I could not be happier with how it was received and embraced, and how bands like Shinedown and Korn are standing side stage watching us at Download Fest in London. And we're just like, yes, they're friends, but they're also not ashamed to be standing side stage watching Daughtry. So that was a big thing for us,
Yeah.
And it's just cool, man. Thank you, is what I'm trying to say, for embracing us and welcoming us back into this world, because I get it. Like, I understand, the hesitation. I understand, like, what is this?
Right.
Because, we after messing around with a record label for 5+ records, you play the ball, and you play the ball game, and you do what you're told. And then next thing you realize, you're not even, you don't recognize like what you're putting out. And you're like, man, this doesn't feel like us, man. What is happening? So, man, it feels great to be back and surrounded by big guitars and peers that I look up to. And so, anyway, I digress.
That's awesome, man.
Had to get it out there. This is therapy.
The point that you mentioned this too, and we don't have a ton of time, but I'll try to get to this as well, is that in the rock world, and you were mentioning about how like Korn and Shinedown were sitting side stage and kind of watching you, and how people don't play Daughtry, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In the rock world, there's such like this gatekeeping, like this world of just like, well, that's not metal if you don't listen to that, and I just, right. I never really got that. I never really understood, like, why deny yourself the pleasures of like awesome music just because you have to be part of this realm,
I grew up loving so many different, first of all, I've always been a sucker for a great melody. So whether it be pop, country, rock, metal, whatever, if it's a good melody and it gets stuck in my head like an earworm, then I'm game. Yeah, and so you don't deny yourself the pleasures of, say, Rick Astley or, or the anything out there with, I always thought, Paradise City is a pop song if you take all the rock instruments away from it. It's absolutely so catchy. But I've never understood that either. And I've always loved, like, I love everything if it's a good song.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all about the song.
Right. And the older you get, the less you care about what other people think. Like, well, it's like, dude, I just want to jam some Backstreet Boys somewhere. Yep. Whatever.
Like, why not? Why not? There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah. So I don't have a ton of time, but we'll mention one more time. July 23rd, McGrath Amphitheatre. Yes. And two more things I want to point out. Okay, tattoos wise. All right. So I see this big blue piece on your left shoulder there,
so
man.
This is if I don't know if we can, this is a cover up.
Oh,
this
a cover up. Okay.
Huge cover up.
Sure.
And this was a piece of art that was on a flyer for one of our shows at the Fillmore in San Francisco, I believe, back in like 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
And sorry, someone's calling me. And I took it to someone and they made it look like my wife instead.
Wow.
And added some orchids and whatnot. And this is a big cover up. So it's like an amalgamation of filigree and a big blue rose and the heart from one of our records. So it was kind of a hodgepodge. So I guess we're done because my manager keeps calling me and they know that I'm supposed. But thank you so much for having me, man. I can't wait to play the show, and we're excited, man. Thank you for the support, man. Appreciate it.
July 23rd, McGrath Amphitheatre. Real quick, I know he's trying to call you, but we'll take a quick still shot for the blog. So just do anything, thumbs up or whatever. All right. So in 3, 2, 1.